So last night in the house started on a pretty good note. I was thinking that we were just going to get vibes throughout the night, only for them to play that question game that scattered everything. It turned everywhere upside down. I already highlighted the Mpho and Libo situation in my previous video because that one felt like it was too large to include in this video. But in this video, I'm going to talk about all the other things that happened with them and the question game. Welcome back to my channel, guys. If you are new here, please do well to subscribe, turn on your post notifications so that I can get notified each time I post a brand new video, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. So on a very light note, let me just begin by saying that Themba won the Friday night Arena Games. Congratulations to Themba.
Congratulations, Themba, with 58 seconds.
For the question game, I'm not going to talk about all the questions, obviously, because it was like a 3-hour long session. So I'm going to just talk about some questions that led to something else. So because it led to another thing, I will now highlight it and talk about it. And then some epic questions, most especially from Themba. They did spin the bottle to start, and it landed on Gashwan. So Gashwan was the first person to answer questions, and the first person that asked him was Tato. Tato asked him how many people has he kissed in the house, and he started mentioning all the people.
Tato?
Yeah.
Mpho?
Yeah.
Yoli? Dinky? I've kissed Akeisha. I've kissed Ntavi.
6. You know saliva stays in your mouth for 7 years.
The reason that's the case is because they played the truth or dare games at the beginning of the season, and there was a part where they asked like all the guys to kiss all the girls, so that's where the kiss happened. Although Yoli's own also happened outside of that, so he mentioned all the people that he kissed. The next question was from Libo. Libo asked him whether what he has with Tato is it genuine or it's a strategy, and he said it's definitely genuine from his own angle. I don't know what they were expecting him to say. Even if it was not genuine, for example, would he now say no, it's not genuine? No. Then Libo now also asked him whether he feels some type of way seeing whenever he sees Libo or tools with Tato, and he was like no, that he doesn't feel any type of way.
Is it genuine or is it strategy?
Well, it's genuine from my side.
Does tools and I make you feel some type of way when talking to Tato?
Definitely not.
And during Gashwan's session, Terry, there was a whole lot of interruption. Like in almost everybody that asked Gashwan a question, Terry would intrude and say, okay, maybe like follow-up questions or just something. She had the comments on almost every question, every answer that he was giving. At some point, the housemates were just like taken aback and like, what's up? They even had to stop her at some point, because even when Gashwan was done with the session, she now went further to ask another question, that was a soccer player or something like that. They now told her, they shall call that to order, and she was like, she's sorry, and then she now calmed down and stopped asking.
I've maintained the thought that you've gone under a different name and you're an athlete, and that you've got this whole idea.
I hear you.
Then one epic question that was asked was from Themba. In fact, Themba asked all the epic questions. So he asked Terry whether she still has a crush on Gashwan, and she was like, no, that she's good, because she mentioned, in fact, let me just talk about Terry's own question and answer part of the game. So the first question they asked her was who was her crush, who's her crush in the house, and she said initially she was crushing on Libo, Bu, and what's his name, Gashwan. So that's what now led to this other question of Themba asking her whether you still have a crush on this guy because of the way she was attacking him, and then mentioning that he was her crush before. Themba now asked whether the crush is still there, and she said no, that she's good. And when she answered, Sister Mara also like concurred, like okay, obviously he can see where Themba is getting the idea from. And then during this time too, Venus was now scratching neck. It was almost as if a lot of the housemates also shared the sentiments that Themba was shared the same sentiment that Themba was thinking in his head, that maybe this babe still has a crush on this guy.
Do you still have a crush on Kesh? Oh, okay, because I get a feeling. Oh, okay.
No, I'm good.
I understand why you get the feeling.
Yeah.
The other questions that were asked for Terry was just around the idea of her coming across as like maybe some sort of a bully. They didn't use the word bully. So said he didn't want to use the word bully. He said he wanted to use the word forceful. That does she think that she can come across forceful at times? Libo also asked the same thing. I think Sister Mara also threw the same type of questions to her. Like so many of them asked. Even at the point they were saying that Terry is just answering the same question, so they should change it. So I think the reason it was like that is because most of the housemates actually shared the same sentiments, that maybe she comes across as being maybe a bully or like being too much or being forceful. Then her own response was that she's very assertive, that she doesn't see herself that way, that she's very assertive, and that's who she is.
I'm not doing too much. I'm doing enough as I can. That's how I see it. If you feel like it's very assertive, it's who I am. I'm an assertive person. If I say these must go here, it's up to you to move them.
Anybody that maybe you're trying to put it across to the person that this is what you're doing or this is how you are, especially when it's coming from the people that are closest to you, and your response is, this is how I am, I'm not going to change for nobody, it means that you're not open to growth. Then another epic question that was asked from Themba was, he asked Tools whether Tools is afraid. I was like, okay, Tools, come and answer, because obviously it has to do with like the whole nomination, not wanting to be up. So Themba just wanted to know. Themba was just asking strategic questions to know where to get those people. So he asked him, and then Tools actually answered in a very smart way, because the way he answered is like politician type of answer. He was like, he has been afraid since he came into the house, since he walked into the house, has been afraid that he will definitely be afraid every step of the way until he gets that money. So it's just like, okay, the fear is not really about the nomination now, it's just by being in the house, I'm afraid, that kind of thing. So he shall answer the question and then moved on.
I was afraid the day I walked in. I was afraid the day I went to the interview. I'll be afraid until it's just how I operate. Yeah, until I get that check.
For the remaining question and answer session, there's a page on Instagram that I saw that posted it. So if you want to really check, it's a very long session, so you should check out updates on Big Brother Bbmzansi. I'll post it, I'll put the page here and maybe post it in the description box. Then after the game, Themba now approached Venus to, you know, I don't know, he wanted to talk to her. He asked her for, after a while of like trying to talk to her and she was not responding, he was not like, okay, she should give him a hug, so he would go. She said she didn't want to give him a hug. She was like just being very adamant. She didn't want to give him any listening ear at all. And you guys know that the reason for this is because Venus has not been happy with him.
Give me a hug. You don't want to hug me no more? You don't love me no more?
When I had to lose no one. I had to lose no, seriously, no, I don't want to.
Later on, when they went to the kitchen area, he was still talking to her like, what's up, what did I do, what did I do to you? And Venus was not like, you're all over the place. It was like, how is it all over the place? She now talked about the whole bathroom situation, that himself and Mpho had their shower together in the bathtub and everything. I talked about this in my other video, but I had not seen the actual video clip of them showering together. I thought it was just under the shower, but when I saw the video clip, I now noticed that it was in the bathtub that they had their bath together. Obviously, that's kind of like, it's a romantic setting. Let me not call it a romantic setting. Like, it's pretty intimate for some people. Like, you guys are literally both naked together in the bathtub. It's a romantic setting or an intimate setting for a lot of people. So that's obviously awkward. But knowing fully well that he doesn't really have any commitment to any of the ladies, that's okay. But Venus has the rights of, obviously she's going to feel some type of way. Then later on, they were now outside after some housemates had gone to sleep. Tato and Gashon, they were actually having a conversation inside, but Bulenani did not really show us that. They showed us people that were outside having the conversation, and it was mostly about Terry just trying to understand why the housemates are not with her on the whole hating on Gashon and Tato's situationship. So let's just address it as it is. So she was sitting out there with Tools, Sister Mara and Mpho, and she was just trying to understand why. No, she was saying that their whole situation, because Sister Mara was saying that it's almost as if what is going on with them is now affecting some people in the house. Like, they are now making it seem like it's supposed to affect them. And then Terry was now saying that if it's something is affecting her game, obviously she's going to react and then, you know, act in a particular type of way.
If you moving funny, then for me, if you're disturbing my game, I don't need you.
But that's how it looks now. It looks as if people's moves are being determined by them being together, and that's why all these questions always keep
but that's what it stems on.
How is it that people are doing what they're doing and being themselves and not, like, I do not even understand what she meant by is disturbing her game, or if something is disturbing her game. Then she now went further to say that when, like, there has been they've had several couples in the house, BU, Venus, Mpho, Libo, and like herself and Vino, that why are they exempt from the kind of treatment that they were given? That's herself and Vino. Why is it that Gashwan and Tato, they're not treating them the same way that they were treating herself and Vino? That if it's the other show, that's the love show, I think she was talking about maybe Love Island or whatever else, or whatever love reality show, that if you're looking for love, they should go to that other show. Not like, more like, it's not Big Brother that you're supposed to be doing this type of thing. That if you're looking for love, if you're here for love, you should go to the other show. That's the way they were treating them, herself and Vino. And they were not like telling her that. Sister Mara and Tool were not telling her, no, that's not how it was. That's not how they were looking at their own situation. That's Vino and Terry. That's not how they were looking at their own situation.
Because if you look at the history of this game, you've had BU and Venus, you've had Libo and Mpho, you've had Terry and Vino. What makes them so exempt to the bullshit? If you're looking for love, go to that fucking channel. That's the exact same treatment I got.
Not necessarily.
I don't think so.
Tools also disagreed with her that he doesn't feel like they treated her and Vino a certain type of way, and then these people are receiving like maybe preferential treatment. Then Terry now said that the reason that maybe she and Vino might have been exempt from this kind of treatment is because they were not rubbing it in people's faces and all of that. Is this particular statement, I'm sure even in my video I was like, you were not rubbing it in what? Like, the couple that rubbed it the most in people's faces, it's like it was literally you guys, like Terry and Vino. Like, literally every night, the people that were sleeping beside them, around them, had to, if I'm sure if they had earbuds or something, or earpiece, they would have literally been sleeping with earpiece and music.
I think the only thing that had me exempt was the haircut and the fact that we didn't rub it in people's faces.
You think you did not. That's another thing.
Okay, then explain it to me.
This one is highlighted because there's less of us.
Even if it wasn't all over the place and they were not rubbing it in people's faces, how they chose to do their own situationship or relationship, that's on them. Like, if these people choose to do PDA with their own relationship, it's not supposed to be a big deal, literally. So even if these people did not rub and these people, but even that statement was not even true, because they were literally in everybody's faces both during the day and the night and everything. So that's obviously not true. Samara told her that that's what she felt, but that's not what it was. Then it now got to the point of her questioning the whole them being together as a whole. Like, all this while they've been in the house, all these things have not happened. They're like, why now? Why at this stage of the game, basically? Then because Sister Mara was just trying to let her know that if she sits down with Tato to have a conversation with her, she would understand. Terry was now saying that she has had a conversation with Tato, and all this while, Tato did not show any sign towards Gashwan in particular, that all the people that she has liked before was Tools and Libo, that how did all of this come about? Where did this come from?
I've had conversations with Tato, and at never some point that she has given me any type of impression that she was looking at cash, to be specific. It was always Tools or Libo until last week. Then okay, when
you have traffic Tato, you'd understand.
Concern you. It's none of your business. You get. And it seemed a little bit entitled. They don't owe you, even if they did not like each other from the week 1 to week 10, and they decided that it's week 11 they will like each other. It's not a question you now start asking, oh, why now, why this, why now? Because, to be honest, the whole thing was just looking like she was looking for accountability from people that don't owe her that, right? Sister Mara Shasti told her that if she sits down with Tato now and have a conversation with her, she would understand. But it just seemed like Terry did not want to understand. She likes the position she's in. When they now went inside, the conversation continued, and at some point, Mpho kind of fed into what was being said. Like, she was feeding into the whole conversation of like, okay, maybe this is a strategy, because she made a comment about the whole thing of, on Monday she realized that some people, what they were doing in this house was just strategic, right? That's Mpho. So just like feeding into the whole narrative of maybe this is like a strategy. Then she now also mentioned that they need to understand things from Terry's angle. Maybe this week so and so were up for eviction, this so and so were up.
It's the purpose question where I'm getting. You should ask where is the root of the whole thing that she's talking about, the 442 situation, that and are up together. Are up together.
Now we're at this point and we're allowing this shit to happen.
When Mpho said this one, I was like, what's going on? Like, why is she feeding into this narrative? This is obviously BS to me. But I kind of felt like maybe, just maybe, Mpho is trying to infiltrate the alliance, because she had a conversation with Themba one time, and Themba was just telling her that she needs to be part of an alliance to at least save herself for the next week, so that she doesn't stress her fans. Because it's almost as if this alliance, to join this alliance now, you have to be against Gashwan, because that's how Themba actually infiltrated the alliance. He came and told them to nominate Gashwan, and then they just felt like, okay, they they could trust this guy. And then her also getting reconciling thing with Libo, that might also be part of the strategy to be part of the alliance. But we are going to watch and see how that plays out. Terry was now saying that when Vino was around, Agashon was talking, saying so many things about herself and Vino, and they were allowing it to happen because Vino is calm and chilled. Then now nobody is saying anything about Gashon and Tato. It's now as if, but like she's really literally mad. She said she's crazy, like not like crazy, but like she's angry, basically. Like she's really angry that they're not keeping the same energy.
This nigga was talking a lot of shit about me and Vinyl the whole time, and we let it slide because Vinyl was very chill. Then he kept me on chill, but now I can feel it popping through the surface, and I'm mad because everybody's so chilled about it.
What exactly do you want these people to do? Gashwan and Tato, they've been up for 2 weeks in a row. Is it that she's literally trying to recruit them to treat them a certain way? Because that's the way it's sounding. Like you saying they're not keeping the same energy. Does she literally want everybody to treat them the way she's feeling? She wants everybody to, that's some bully talk. Later on, she was not saying things around the line of they should not be acting more like blind. They should not be acting blind, like these things are not in their faces. They should not act like Gashon and Tato are not going to save each other. They're going to support each other and have each other's back. So they need to literally like set them up or put them up. That's basically what she was saying. That was clear conspiracy.
She wants to say something, but you probably can't articulate it, or you don't want to say that.
For me, it's the whole couple situation. Let's not play like this shit is not in our faces. And let's not play immune, like these people are not going to save each other.
When she said that, I was like, okay, this whole thing has been building up to the conspiracy, and she still went upstairs to still continue the whole, these people, you need to look at them, you need to do something, all of you in this house need to do something. I feel like Big Brother might actually reprimand her for it because she really pushed it. Let's see how tomorrow goes. So I think that's it for this video. Yeah. What do you guys think about the whole thing? Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I'm going to see you on the next one. Bye. Love you.